Hi beautiful souls, welcome back to the channel, Beautiful Awakening with Shantia. Welcome to another pick a card reading with me. So in today's pick a card reading, we're going to be looking into August, what's going on in your month of August and what wants to come through. I'll go ahead and dive into a little bit of the theme later on. If you haven't already, go ahead and check out on my other channel. I mentioned in my previous pick a card reading that I uploaded a video called The Distorted Feminine. If you're interested in that, that's about cultural conditioning, and I explore different perspectives on femininity and what it means in today's culture and how people are responding, reacting to it, and then I align it with more of the natural feminine expression that I feel like I've experienced for myself and what I feel like helps other people to flow with their energy. Upcoming, I will be uploading Pluto and Capricorn, and I will be starting the planet series, the Graha series, starting with Sun, and I'm hoping to upload that for August. I think that's going to be just too perfect to upload the Sun video in the month of Leo. All right, I'm excited for what wants to come through for this reading, and I hope you guys are all doing okay and handling the heat well, whether this is literally or metaphorically. Wherever you're at in life, I hope things are chugging along for you. Before I introduce the groups, the tea of the day that I am sipping here is jasmine tea. So here we go. This is considered to be, that's like the authentic sticker here underneath. So this is a product of the People's Republic of China, Fujian Tea Import and Export Co. Yeah, so this is a tea that someone put me on to. A friend of mine's, their roommate was a huge fan of jasmine tea, and I'm like, oh, this tea's amazing. So this is what they put me on to. And yeah, I think you could find this honestly anywhere or a lot of different places if you're interested in it. But yeah, this supply will last you about a year, and it's strong. It's very caffeinated. That's why I'm drinking it right now, because I'm a bit tired. And when I purchased this was priced at $6.89. But you know, prices are fluctuating, and it's been a minute since I bought me a new one of these. But this is a loose leaf green jasmine tea, and it tastes delicious. It's quite strong. You can drink it with some honey or maple syrup if you like natural sugar. That's what I like to do. Okay, let's go ahead and introduce the groups. So here are the groups. The theme that wanted to come through was advertisements. And I was actually picking up a 1950s or 60s theme. And I think that has something to do with tradition and maybe breaking free of tradition is what I was getting, or breaking free of programming or conditioning, cultural conditioning. So with this Leo energy and K2 shifting into Pura Falguni, I imagine that this is going to ignite the energy of self-expression. This is going to ask us to reevaluate our self-expression, our sense of self, and it's going to call for us to spiritually align with our true self as opposed to the programmed image that we project out into the world. And that's what we're being challenged with. The other theme I was picking up was DNA. I was picking up a lot actually when it came to the general theme. So dynamic energy, DNA, Kundalini energy, the spiral. That's why we have the DNA in the main image, double helix, stairway to heaven. So the double helix is supposed to be a representation of like a stairway to heaven and elevating inner consciousness or evolving our DNA or activating it, perhaps, or activating our divine DNA. So that's a clue for what we're going to be picking up. Group number 1, you have Spinderella. Group number 2, you have Catch Me If You Can. And group number 3, you have Sip the Tea. Let's go ahead and start our meditation. here is the singing bow. All right, group number 1. If you chose Spinderella, we're going to go ahead and start with you. Hey, group number 1, welcome to your reading. So you guys chose Spinderella. Great, so I'm just going to pick up the energy from your oracle card design that wanted to come through, and then I'm also going to be reading off of my notes for what I picked up in your meditation. Okay, so the first thing I was seeing someone spitting, and we have this woman. It was I was actually going for a 20s flapper girl theme, but the illustration itself felt very 50s and 60s, so I decided for the other two I would lean in with the time period of the 50s or the 60s. But yeah. So we're kind of getting that. And I keep hearing in the back of my head, like, what is it called? 1950s housewife vibe. But this woman in this image she feels like she's breaking free of the 1950s housewife stereotype. And I think during the 20s, the flapper girl era was a reclamation of femininity where women were exploring more of their masculine side, masculine self-expression, or more assertiveness within themselves. And that's what this woman is giving me for this oracle card design. She seems like she's really enjoying the passion of life, enjoying her self-expression, and it just feels like a natural extension of herself, and it feels quite elegant and graceful. So I think sometimes I guess I'm getting some advice for you, so we'll go ahead and talk about it. Source is really encouraging you to be authentic in your self-expression, and I think sometimes we feel like we're being overly assertive, and perhaps if you are more introverted or you tend to keep to yourself, then this feels uncomfortable. But when you find a healthy way to express yourself that is assertive, it actually looks quite attractive. It feels attractive and actually feels quite balanced. So I think just sometimes we just don't realize that maybe you guys would be interested in the distorted feminine, because the reason why feminine energy is coming through so strongly for this season that we're entering into, or where we're at right now, is because Pura Falguni is ruled by Sun and then Venus. It's a very attractive energy. It's a very magnetic energy. And Ketu is going to be transiting through Pura Falguni until March of next year. So you have this time, this period, and opportunity to really work on that self-expression in a way that feels more natural. And it's personalized. It's like, what is your personal transformation? So this takes me to someone who's doing art behind the scenes, not because people want them to, not because it's going to look good for their numbers or for a following or anything like that, not because of networking. They're just doing it for the purity of enjoying it. And there's a pleasure they get out of it. There's a pleasure they get out of creating these things. So August is going to be a really good time for you to kickstart this and to investigate what truly brings you pleasure, what helps to connect you to your sensual expression. That has nothing to do with programming, has nothing to do with what you think it should look like, but it's something you can do behind closed doors that feels natural to you. And I feel like this is something you're going to be exploring behind the scenes, and maybe you might want to share it with people. But I think down the line, as we go through our transits, especially when Jupiter transits through Leo eventually next year, which you will be doing, that's going to give you an opportunity to bring out that expression, to share that with other people, as opposed to just, being behind closed doors. But this is a really good time for you to explore what feels natural to you. So I'm getting, this feels very much like, I kept getting fashion vibes from this. So maybe you want to explore, experiment your fashion with fashion or design or your artistic expression. So you might be creating or designing, making things behind the scenes, but our art is our life. So maybe you might feel called to just design your life and whatever feels natural to you. Yeah, but this feels self-gratifying as well, this energy that I'm picking up. I'm also picking that you're going to get more energy during this month, which is interesting because, June was quite productive, July kind of busy, but I'm also picking up quite a bit of energy for August, but it feels more personalized for you, group number 1. So you're getting more energy, or maybe you're feeling more energized. So maybe there's a lot going on, but now maybe you are personally feeling more energized in the month of August to do what you want to do and focus on yourself. So the spinning, I was seeing someone spinning, and they're spinning in a really large dress. It was like a massive dress. So just imagine Cinderella in her massive dress. But in this case, it was spinning kind of slow because it's a heavy dress. And in real life, when they make those massive dresses in those movies, you can't move that fast in them. They're very heavy. They're very heavy layers of fabric. So, and even when they made the dresses back then, very heavy layers of fabric that you're learning how to move around. But inside, like, the flapper girl energy is giving me, like, you're going to be feeling more free perhaps internally, but like you can't move that much because the big dress that I was seeing in my vision, like it's a bit restrictive. But all around, this is also about mastering your energy. You are the spiral of energy. And I think Source is just wanting you to focus on mastering that spin, that flow, that harmony. And I think they're also asking for you to adjust to holding those higher frequencies, because I was getting that spiral energy. So I think you're being asked to hold higher frequencies and adjust to them. Yeah, all in all, really cool. So there might be some sort of focus or recognition coming in the month of August as well, because I'm seeing the attention definitely feels like it's on this woman here. So there might be some attention or recognition coming this month as well, I'm seeing. Because this reminds me of like someone modeling on a magazine cover. And so people are just like, oh, you look beautiful. But, it's definitely energy and whatever it is that you're emanating. So there might be some appreciation coming your way. Yeah, and maybe this takes us to the scene with Spinderella, but I meant to say Cinderella. Cinderella, where she was spinning around in her dress, and before that, she was just serving behind the scenes, right? She's quietly serving behind the scenes, doing her thing with her family, and then when she had the opportunity to shine in front of people, she was explosive with it. She didn't hesitate to shine. So it's like once she had her moment, she was like, yeah, I'm going to shine. And it comes so naturally to me. So yeah, you might feel quite more extroverted this month, feel more like, or maybe your energy is just going to be so nice and radiant that people are going to take a double look at you, which is beautiful. Yeah, I mean, spiritually, on a soul level, I feel like you are becoming radiant from the inside out. And this is going to be a month where it's noticeable. It's a noticeable shift. And you'll feel it. You'll see it. Maybe your skin will be glowing and you'll be like, dang, I really do look extra cute. You know what? Need to give myself props. And I think this is also how Source sees you, right? You are, in a sense, Cinderella. You are a divine child, as we all are. But again, the gift of Cinderella was that she recognized her own worth. So this is a month for, I think, you to celebrate, and that might be also the advice, is to focus on celebrating your worth in spite of whatever circumstances are around you, to take accountability for you recognizing your true worth, which is priceless. And so if there's ever anyone who makes you feel less than, there's no reason to stoop down to their level. just to defend yourself. No, you rise above that. You stay risen above that, above the drama, and you reclaim your truth, which is that you are priceless, a divine, priceless child. And it's too bad if other people don't recognize what they really are, and you do. So you guys got the pink agate, which is perfect with the pink dress we got here. You know, this is kind of like my high vibrational creative crystal. So let me just go ahead and scry with it and see if I can pick up anything in it and see what else wants to come through. Yeah, I'm seeing softer pinks, which is interesting because that's kind of what we are picking up in her dress as well. So the softer pink feels more receptive and flowy and graceful. You know, this hot pink feels more like expressive, like this is me, this is my like strong personality. But the softer pink feels a little bit more introverted to me. That's what I'm picking up here. And it's a strong sense of self, but it's coming from like a spiritual, introverted expression of yourself here. It's very much internal. So that's very beautiful. And I'm hearing whirlwind and a whirl, which the whirlwind is, in this case, you're whirling or your energy is whirling beautifully, as opposed to just like looking stormy wind. It's a whirling. It's going around gracefully. Yeah, I'm seeing a bit of a reflective energy. So there's something about mirror and self, like a mirror and self-reflection. Seeing yourself more clearly, looking in the mirror. This is going to be a really good month for you to be self-reflective and to take account of what it is that you're working on for yourself. I think you might actually get that reprieve because I don't know about you guys, but past couple months have been kind of busy where it's a lot of energy and interaction with other people. And I think you're going to get more of a period to spend time with yourself here and reflect on what you've learned. Yes, that's what I'm picking up. A self-reflective month where you're going to pick up what you've learned and gathered what you've learned the past few months, perhaps. Yeah, there might also be some adventurous energy. It's a bit of adventurous energy I'm picking up for the month of August for you as well. Like some fun activities you're going to enjoy. Okay. Let's go ahead and pull some cards for you guys. See what else wants to come through for your month of fun. Month of August. Group number 1, my Spinderellas. Oop. That was funny shuffling there. Okay. So we got Justice. I get what I give. Okay, let's go ahead and pull a clarifier for this. High Priestess. Whoa. Okay, cool. 2 big heavy hitters here. So we got 2 strong feminine figures coming through for us. And you got 11 and 2, and 11 adds up to 2. Interesting. So that's like harmony and balance. It's going to be a bit of a psychic month for you. And that might be why things feel a little bit more in flow, because you're just sort of having a sense for trusting your intuition. That's also the guidance here, is to trust your intuition as well. That's what's helping you to align or get into the flow, is just to trust your intuition. It's very strong. You have a very strong intuition. You have a strong inner knowing. I heard someone say something about how women, it's very interesting, but I was hearing someone say that women don't have good intuition just because they're women. Because they're like, why are there so many women who don't, if they have a good intuition, why don't they listen to it? And I think this person was actually kind of accurate in a sense. I think intuition, maybe we acknowledge it as, we think it's a feminine trait, but I think intuition is a spiritual trait. And it really just depends on the being, the spiritual being, and how much that person or the individual, how much they acknowledge that spiritual essence within them. So that's what I'm hearing. The more that you take account, and I keep hearing that word, like take account, take accountability, take account of your spiritual essence, the more confident you become. because you're like, by acknowledging, that's why I believe in that, you know, High Priestess is Pisces energy. That's why I believe that we are actually in the age of Pisces, because I don't even feel like humanity has mastered surrender. I'm like, how on earth can we be shifting into the age of Aquarius when we have not mastered surrender yet? We're supposed to be, what do you call it? Harmonizing, synergizing all of the energies. We should be surrendering and shifting into the age of knowing as well. And people are taking all of this knowledge, and it's still very much filtered through the lens of the matrix, because people are distorting it, confusing it, and twisting it however they can, like however their mind wants to. So it's kind of crazy. Okay. So we have some intense energies. We have the Justice card, which is about karma, karmic justice, and consequences. Truth, honesty, life lessons. So there's going to be a strong life lesson that's coming through for this month for you, where you're understanding, we have two truths here in the cards. You're understanding the truth of a situation. You're understanding, I get what I give. I get what I give. And there might be a bit of a reckoning in the sense that maybe you realize, I was doing it to myself, in a sense. Okay, let's pull another one for you here. Page of Cups. Yeah, so that's like imagination, divine child energy, very much the pink agate here coming through. And we got another moon energy, and we got Pisces. Look at that. Intuition. Yeah. So the more you lean into your intuition to guide you one step at a time, which is what the Page of Cups is giving me. It's like, just take it one step at a time. Don't try to overwhelm yourself with, you don't need to take big leaps and jump. Actually, the more that you humble yourself to being a divine child, the more your life can flow with ease. Because the divine child is surrendered. A child is born in a surrendered state. And then learning how to revert back to that is hard, but that's the rebirth. You have to revert back to that divine child state that you were born into, surrendered. Okay. Yeah, and I'm hearing emotional accountability. That's what I'm hearing, emotional accountability. Okay, let's pull cards here. We have here the Holy Spirit, which has a cup of truth in front of it. Okay, cup of truth is your theme. The Holy Spirit, expect miracles. Remember that only love is real. Miracles will occur naturally. Spirit has your back. Okay, beautiful. And we have a bit of a blue theme coming through as well. So, yeah, there's going to be some sort of miracle, a shift showing up during this month. It could be like an opportunity that's going to unfold eventually where, you know, it could be an offer. It could be clarity on a certain situation that's coming through where you're like, oh, look at that. When I put work into myself, things do work out. So I'm seeing something come through for you where it feels kind of like future plans because, you know, the High Priestess is about trust, intuition, divine timing. So it's like something that's going to unfold eventually and it's going to play in your favor. And this month you're going to get a bit of confirmation from source showing that the work that you've been putting into yourself is paying off. And we're always putting work into ourselves. We're always doing it. But when we redirect it and we really concentrate that energy and redirect that life force energy back to ourselves, that's the spiral. Redirecting the life force energy back to yourself and stop trying to do all of these things externally to feel validated in life, then you start healing, you start regenerating, and you start moving in resonance with the universe, which is what I'm getting from that pink agate. You move in resonance with the universe, and you find yourself making choices and aligning with situations that evidently benefit you in the long term. Okay. Yeah, maybe also a cool month to experiment with divination, tarot, mystery, spiritual, deep research here. Oh, look at that. We got mastery. And what did I say about tarot? We got death and magic, which is like Scorpio energy. Morrigan. So we got 37 Morrigan, death and magic. We have here Saraswati, mastery. Okay. So you're in a space of mastering your transformation. Yeah, and that's what that pink gate is. It's like mastering your energy so that you feel very, what they people say, high vibe, right? And it's, I don't know, high vibe. Just you're aligning your energy, you're learning how to move with it, flow with it, control it less. That's the mastery, is like releasing control, and then things just sort of align for you on your path. Yeah. So there's going to be a clear understanding of what you're needing to do to continuously master. Whenever we get this card, it's still quite a bit of work. You know, this is always like keep putting in the work. We have 44. So 33 is like the Ascendant Masters. I always think of 44 as like master. Mastering mastery. But 4 brings us to stability. 4 and 4 add up to 8, which takes us to prosperity and true abundance, recognizing the true abundance within us. So I think you're going to be stabilizing higher frequencies this month, and it's going to be noticeable. So just be open to that. Some beautiful things are going to come in this month, synchronicities. Okay, so for this Morrigan Death and Magic, I'm definitely getting an energy of magic. I'm feeling very pulled to that word. So there's going to be some... this might be a really good month for you to understand what magic really is, to redefine it, because on the mundane level, it might look very boring or quite simple, but in your heart, you know it's just unbelievable. So there's going to be something, that's what I'm seeing, like something mundane that's unfolding in your life where it's like, oh, you know, okay, this seems like just like normal life stuff, but to you it means a lot, because it might be something that you've been working towards, that you've been putting work in, something that you've been wanting, desiring, hoping for, praying for, but at the same time trying to put in sincere work to get there. I'm seeing that this month there's going to be a definitive magic, you know, and this magic is going to be born from all of the work, you know, with the crow here, maturity that you've been putting into yourself. Yeah. And you're also learning that you are an alchemist. You're an alchemist. You are the manifester. Yeah. And I'm getting maybe some recognition around your knowledge, your divine knowledge, or your wisdom. Yeah, your wisdom. You're knowing something, you know, you're learning something. And as you're mastering this knowledge, there's some sort of recognition coming. We're getting a lot of crescent moon references here. Multiple crescent moon references. So, yeah, strong intuition this month. Very exciting. Okay, let's go ahead and pull some more cards for you guys. Because this is basically the same energy. High Priestess, and 3 and 7 add up to 10. So we have here Olive Branch. We got another blue energy coming through, so that's very strong. So blue always takes me to kind of like throat chakra or clarity. So I think your mind might feel a bit more clear this month. So truce, surrender, giving in, come to terms, suspend, de-escalate, peace offering, winding down, reprieve, treaty, and agree to disagree. And we got Scorpio, which takes us to that death and magic, scorpionic energy. Olive Branch. Yeah, so I was already talking about that energy of surrender, and that's coming through again. I think this month you're just going to feel like, you know what, surrender is it. I'm willing to do it. Maybe you've been experiencing some tension, some resistance, but I think this month, that's also the advice, is to surrender. And this is what's going to give you more peace of mind in general, but definitely this month, leaning heavily into that is what's going to help you a lot. So you're basically mastering surrender. Here, we got another 2. So that's balance. So that means give and take, or not resistance. I would say action and stillness. Finding a healthy balance between the two. Knowing when your action isn't forced but inspired, and knowing when to be still, which is most of the time. I feel like stillness is most of the time, if you ask me. Okay, let's go ahead and pull some affirmations for you guys, and then I'll roll the astro dice to conclude your reading. So we have here, I'm courageous. I am willing to act and face my fears. Very Pura Falguni, very much Leo energy. I'm courageous. I'm willing to act and face my fears. Yeah, so we got 2 purple energies coming through here. Yeah, so from a higher perspective, you very much understand that when you're willing to be courageous in life, face your fears, things work out for you. It actually works in your favor and you feel better. So I'm getting this self-gratification feeling of like, I feel better just for facing the fear. I feel better for trying. I feel better for putting myself out there. I feel better for trying to do something that I truly believed in. I feel good about it. So there's a strong sense of I just feel good. Not even necessarily like I need recognition for someone to show me that, but I'm definitely seeing internally there's going to be a stronger sense of peace within you because coming from you knowing yourself. Wow, you're going to be feeling quite divine this month. Let's just say that. High and divine. High and divine. All right, let's go ahead and roll the dice. Oh, and this says, emotional stability. Okay, I was saying accountability. Oh, look, you got Pisces, Sun Pisces. Sorry, not Pisces, 12th house. Scorpio. Wow, very synchronistic. Sun, look at that. Self-truth, confidence, self-expression. Pisces, 12th house, transcendent, moksha, liberation. Scorpio, transformation. Yeah, so this is about also embracing your shadow side, your dark side, your mysterious side. Very much the energy of embracing your shadow side and like flowing with it. So you might be feeling quite witchy this month as well and courageously expressing that. So maybe usually you would hold back on talking about your spiritual pursuits around other people or certain groups of people. I feel like this month you're going to feel quite open and you're going to feel inspired to share that experience. And I think people would be quite receptive to it because you're just going to be channeling here. This energy feels quite channeled and tuned in and flowy, where you are the embodiment of the high priestess. That's also the advice as well. Yeah, maybe a bit introverted, but I don't know. I'm getting a bit of a spotlight energy here with this, because even Scorpio's about the eldest. And then there's a mastery of emotions here, because Scorpio is about sometimes drowning in emotions or obsessing about it, going deep into it. But the sun there is a bit more, can be more balanced, especially in that 12th house. Because 12th house, we have to let go of the things in the 12th house. So this is where we let go of ego and we prioritize the divine or the knowledge or the mission over our egoic desires. So this is the sun, whenever it goes in the 12th house, the ego dies there. So it's a good thing because that's exactly what the purpose of our human experience and evolving into higher states of consciousness is. It's to be able to let go of that ego, let it die. Or let it go, it's not dying, but it feels like it's dying. It really is just going back into the back seat where it's supposed to be. And this is what's going to feel good. Yeah, so you're going to be setting your ego aside. You're being called to set your ego aside, and you're actually going to feel better about that. But ironically, it's creating a paradox where it's like the more you let go of your ego, the more people are drawn to you, or the more weird... I have these weird moments sometimes where, there are things that I wanted that I don't want anymore, that when I get it, I don't really feel anything, but then it still happens. And I'm just like, that's weird. And there are so many times in my, the past year or so where a lot of things I wanted, I've gotten those little things here and there. And I'm like, I don't feel anything, but I let go of wanting it. That's what I'm getting. There's something you've let go of, or you're being asked to let go, that you're going to get because you let go of it. This is hilarious. Okay, I'm going to end your reading here, group number 1. Be the best Spinderella that you can be in your August, and I hope it's amazing, you enjoy it, and you just feel a strong sense of strength within you emotionally, strong and stable within yourself, and courageous. And just know that, with this energy is coming through, that you've been putting in so much beautiful work into yourself. You should really be, just feel good about that. Just look at it, observe how beautiful it is, that the work that you're continuously putting into yourself, this feels like growth and this feels like maturity that's coming through. So believe in that. and acknowledge that and continue to put in that work, that accountability. All right, I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Hey, group number 2, welcome to your reading. So you guys chose Catch Me If You Can. Cool. So that's a bit of a reference to, well, I saw a movie, who is it? Tom Hanks and Leonardo DiCaprio? Was it them two? Was Leonardo DiCaprio the one who was faking his identity? And he was faking his identity, and I think it was during the 50s. I don't know if it was based off of a true story. The words came to me, and I didn't do any additional research before coming onto the camera here. But in that video, or in that movie, Tom Cruise was like the police. Not Tom Cruise, sorry. Leonardo DiCaprio and Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks was the police or detective or whatever the law that was chasing after Leonardo DiCaprio, and Leonardo kept running away from the law until eventually he was caught for faking his credentials. Okay, something is coming through here because I was watching something else where someone faked their credentials. It was a Korean drama called Anna, about a woman who faked her credentials. Anna is also the Netflix American version. There's also a version like that, but in Korea there was a whole scandal where this woman faked her credentials to become like an art professor, and I'm like, she faked her credentials to work. Let her work. We should be like, okay, I guess school means nothing, because if you can understand this material without getting a degree, then, you know, maybe you should be the teacher after all. Okay, so something about authenticity is coming through here. Anyways, when I was doing your reading, I saw someone, I kind of got something in the previous reading for the advice on this, where I saw a bear claw. So I saw a claw, and then it turned into sort of a cup, a hand, and a grasp. So there's something you're learning how to grasp or catch. And energetically, this is something that we're doing sometimes, we just don't know it. When we're learning how to master something, or learning how to catch. So this is a young boy. This is where you are energetically right now with something that you're learning. You're still in a youthful phase of learning how to master something. You're learning how to catch something. And this is good because, especially when it comes to a rebirth, you know, you don't just start with mastery. You have to actually master something, learn how to master something for the first time to get an introduction into your new life or new way of being. But yeah, it's almost like you have to pass the test before you can get to the next level. And perhaps some of you feel like you've been stagnant or stuck in certain areas of life. And I feel like August is going to be an opportunity for you to acknowledge that you do have to continue to put the work into yourself to get there. There's no shortcut for anybody. And just like Leonardo DiCaprio character and all of those people in the Korean drama and the American version of Anna who faked their credentials, they tried to shortcut their way to things, and that was not a good idea. The law caught up with them. So maybe some of you feel like you were stuck, but maybe this is actually divine protection, keeping you from trying to get ahead of yourself, because divine is actually protecting you from creating more karma. They don't want you to create more karma. And honestly, the way that this aligned in my life, I think this has to do with soul growth or just whatever, wherever your soul is at in its journey. There are just certain things I do not have access to. I don't have access to worldly success like other people do. It's written in my chart. I don't. You know, I can only get so much. And then I myself personally feel very drained from putting a lot of work into certain things where other people, they can do it. They don't feel as drained. Maybe they are drained. I don't know. I feel extremely drained, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, very drained. So I can't do it. I have a certain threshold I can't cross. So you might have felt like group number 2, you've had a threshold or a boundary that's been preventing you from being able to do other things in life, but this was for your own highest good and your higher self, perhaps protecting you from things getting reckless and crazy. And, you know, with this boy who's playing baseball, you know, usually boys like baseball, right? When they're young, they actually want to do it. And this kid looks like he's enjoying it. So I'm getting this energy of like, oh, I should enjoy this, or I'm starting to appreciate that I didn't skip ahead. You might actually see some, because we're in a very karmic justice time with the Uttara Bhadrapada, the Aquarius energy, that's karmic justice. So for people who decided to take shortcuts in life, we're seeing some of them be pushed back, essentially. Like the law is catching up with them. Just because. It just depends on the soul and the lessons that they're learning. Not everybody are getting their lessons right now. Or those harsher penalties. Oh, that's what I'm hearing. Penalty. Oh, I don't know baseball like that, but I imagine there are certain penalties. There are things you cannot do. So I'm hearing there's a penalty that you've avoided or you can avoid from getting if you do this work. And intuitively, you might start picking up what this is. I encourage you guys to learn more about karma, understand it, because it is why you exist. Whether you want to say you did it, your ancestors did it, that doesn't really matter so much as it's a part of our life existence, and we can actually transcend karma through living through it. Yeah. So life throws curveballs and it challenges us, but we can catch those curveballs. And the thing is, you will see the curveball coming. You're seeing it, you're hearing it in this reading. You've already seen it. Life is about repetitive patterns. So the universe doesn't throw things at you all of a sudden. You're prepared constantly for everything that comes your way. And usually the universe is quite gentle with you at first, and then they start throwing faster and faster curveballs. Not to say that things are going to start coming quicker in your life, just to say that sometimes the challenges or the obstacles are going to get a little trickier and trickier to challenge you mentally, spiritually, emotionally, to grow, to mature, right? To reach for the ball. They're going to throw it higher, so you can reach for it. Okay, so always be ready to, also I was getting always be ready to receive more, because I was getting that cup energy. So the catching is actually a good catch. We've heard the good catch, right? What's a good catch? The good catch is that you can always catch and be receptive to the knowledge. And so there's something knowledge-wise, information-wise, you're catching this month that is like going to help you to advance forward. And you're going to learn how to catch it. You're going to learn how to catch it. So always be ready to receive more, receive, and toss back to create the rhythm, right? So life is about give and receive. So universe gives you knowledge, you catch that knowledge, and then you apply and you embody it. You apply it and you embody it. So as we're going through our obstacles, we're getting more and more information to understand ourselves and our situation. I would say the hardest thing, I can't preach to people to be like, yeah, you need to take that action. It's super hard to embody. It's very hard to embody. And I think this is going to be a month, because I'm hearing that for the month of August, this is going to be a month of embodiment. So they're like, okay, you got some information from certain obstacles. Now we want to see you embody the information and the knowledge that you've received. Little by little. So I wrote here, gentle predictions through instincts. Yeah, so instinctually, they're training you to be ready. So let's say if you're that little boy, usually before you start playing baseball yourself, you watch someone play the baseball. So you're getting a feel for the game. So I'm willing to bet you that at this point in life, you've seen a lot for you to learn a lot about how certain things work. And now they want you to be in the game catching that ball. But you're at the boy level, so it's not going to be crazy. Okay? They're going to give you obstacles that you can handle. Little things here and there. But I was also seeing a cup that holds truth, which is interesting because I was actually picking that up for group number 1 when I was pulling cards. But I wrote here, a cup that holds truth. Cup that holds truth. This is about catching the truth. There's a lot of information on the internet. There's a lot of information out there, but without discernment, how do you know what the heck the truth is? Discernment is a choice. And for those who actually want to embody discernment, like me, like that sounded weird when I said it like that, but I'm saying like me, because I was saying that I have a very low threshold for BS. Let me just say that at this point in my life, I have a low threshold for it. So when my tolerance for BS goes down, my tolerance for truth goes up. So that's what I'm saying. Your tolerance for the lies or the BS is going down, the lies within yourself, the lies your mind tells you, the truth for how the world exists is going up. So your ability to handle the truth is going up. And truth is neutral. I'm not going to say the truth sucks or it's great. It's kind of neutral. It's kind of both. You know, you get a little, woo, this is a fun truth. And then you get a little, ooh, this is a harsh truth. But by the end of the day, the better truth is that we all belong to the divine. So it all neutralizes under the eyes of the divine. Under the umbrella of the divine, everything neutralizes. So yeah, this is going to be a month of, maybe you're feeling a little preachy this month. I'm kind of getting, because it's like, I know the truth. Maybe you want to share the truth. You want to speak the truth. You want to speak your truth this month as well. Okay, so let me scry and see what wants to come through for your crystal. And hopefully, you know, those movie references will help you in some way. The Catch Me If You Can. We'll see if anything wants to come through as I'm scrying. So you guys got the tangerine quartz here. And we'll just see if we can pick up anything. Yeah. I'm getting high-low. Or low-high. I'm getting energy coming down and energy going up. Meeting together. Linking in, plugged in. Yeah, there's a meeting of the minds. I would say spiritually, there's a meeting of the minds, as in things are going to feel more linked in this month, or click. More things are going to click this month. And okay, I'll describe what I'm seeing. I'm seeing like a Pokemon alien-like creature, and it's more the vibe of what I'm getting from it. It's like when you see a cute alien for the first time, like they depict it in a lot of shows and movies, and you're like, oh, what a cute alien, and it's just staring at you. Okay, so that's the advice. There's a bit of origin story I'm getting here, like understanding where you came from and what you are. So there's going to be some truth bombs or information that comes through this month where you're understanding more who and what you are. That's going to be great for you because it's bringing you to a sense of purity. So it's going to bring you to the energy of divine child, as opposed to, oh, I need to be a responsible adult in this world who takes on all of these heavy responsibilities and feels burdened by life. There's an unburdening that's coming this month. That's what I'm feeling. There's an unburdening. There's a letting go that's coming through this month where you're just going to feel, you're going to lighten your load here. So this tangerine quartz is usually connected to productivity or activity or creativity as well. So you might be feeling some of that. Yeah, I'm getting a flat top as well. Something like, oh, I got you. So, you know, maybe if you felt like the past couple months have been, or June and July have been interesting. There's been quite a steep incline. I feel like this incline is going to flatten. So you know how you get to the top of a hill, and there's just like a flat incline and you get to enjoy the view. That's the energy I'm picking up for the month of August. So seeing things from a higher perspective, enjoying the view, feeling a little bit more detached, more content, more at peace. So not as much of an incline this month, but life is about ebbs and flows. So just be prepared for that. Because eventually you're going to have to, you know, either go down the hill or walk up another one, which more than likely you're going to have to walk up. More. Yeah, there's a lot of divine spiritual energy I'm getting. Very etheric, very wispy. It's It's looking very wispy in this crystal. Very wispy in here. Floaty, wispy. Okay. Well, we're going to go ahead and pull some cards. And just see whatever wants to come through for you, group number 2. My Catch Me If You Can group. Yeah, and interestingly enough, Leonardo DiCaprio, he always had that boyish look. He's also, I think he has strong Libra in his chart, but he has that boyish look to him. What does that mean? Boyish look, youth, innocence. Yeah, something about blank slate too. Okay. Month of August for group number 2. Nice. You guys got 9 of Cups. Jupiter in Pisces. Fulfillment, it says. Yeah, the cup. What truly is fulfilling? We have 8 of Cups. Oh, wow. What's not fulfilling? What is fulfilling? So there's a stronger sense of like, this does not fulfill me. This is what fulfills me. Yeah. And straight up, you know, I've said this many times. I'm going to say it again. Nothing outside of you fulfills you. Things can bring like what feels like temporary fulfillment. It's not sustainable. But I'm getting, straight up, I'm getting the fulfillment comes from the work you did, you put into yourself to climb up that mountain, and then enjoying a higher view, a higher perspective, looking down below and seeing the beautiful trees and the lakes. That's what I'm getting, because look, he's climbing a mountain too. So he's like, nope, not interested. I'm going to climb this mountain because I actually want life to be interesting. Because when I really work on myself, when I really walk towards a higher elevation, towards the truth, I actually feel better about myself and about life. We got Saturn and Jupiter. Interesting. Law and order and prison and restrictions. Divine law, prison, restrictions. So a strong sense of knowing what's restricting me in life, right? So maybe because what came through in this reading is I'm hearing shortcuts. So he decided he wanted to take the long way. He doesn't want shortcuts. He doesn't want shortcuts. His soul is not fulfilled. I'm willing to bet you that at some point, some of you agree that there are certain things that were not fulfilling for you. I had a friend who's actually, she said some of her classmates in college, she's pursuing her master's, they were not actually studying. Like they didn't care for the material, they weren't studying, and she didn't like that. She likes actually doing the work. She likes putting in the real work. So that's what I'm hearing. It's about something about putting in the real work that's actually fulfilling. Putting in the fake work, not fulfilling. Because she had classmates that were not putting in the real work, and it was annoying her. She's like, what's wrong with the people here? They don't even want to work towards their degrees. They don't actually want to learn anything. They just want everything to be easy and handed to them. Yeah, so maybe there's some entitlement you're letting go, some identity around entitlement. Like, oh, I'm entitled to this job, even though I don't have the credentials. I didn't put in like the person who would have been qualified for this job would have put in 7 years, 4 or 5 years of schooling. They would have paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to go to these expensive schools, but I didn't pay anything, and I'm faking my credentials, and I'm qualifying myself for the job, even though I have a strong intellect. I didn't actually put in the work to get here. Woohoo. That's nice. That is accountability. So yeah, definitely a strong sense of accountability coming through this month. That is going to be the theme, and that is the advice, is to take accountability for the work you have to put in here. You're going to be feeling a bit more, even though we got that youthful energy, we also have this sense of maturity too, of like, I have to acknowledge that if I put the work in, then it makes sense for the outcome to come. And there is no shortcut in life. You don't just manifest things out of thin air. You actually do put in the work here. And with that 9 of Cups, this is what fulfills me. So that tells me you have done some work. You have done some work to figure out what does and what does not fulfill you. And this month is the month to acknowledge what that is. Okay, I'll pull one more card for you guys from the tarot. We got Moon here. Another Pisces energy. All right, strong Pisces energy coming through. We got Saturn in Pisces right now, Neptune in Pisces, and they are conjunct. So maybe that's why there's a strong reckoning happening with that Jupiter and Neptune in Pisces in Uttada. I think it's in Uttada Bhadrapada. Yeah. Law and Order. And also, that's the Cinderella Nakshatra. Dang it. I forgot to tell group number 1 that. That's a Cinderella Nakshatra. She had to work hard. People feel bad for Cinderella? Don't feel bad. That's just her karma. She faced it. She faced her karma. She moved on. Oh, I did mention that. But I didn't mention that Uttada. I did mention Cinderella to group number 1, but I didn't mention Uttada Bhadrapada, which is what Saturn and Neptune are in Pisces. Beautiful. Okay, so strong sense of maturity, of acknowledging the real work that needs to be put in, listening to your intuition and learning how to discern the illusion. This isn't real. This is not the truth. I thought originally this is what I wanted when I was a kid, but now that I'm more mature and I've spiritually matured, I'm recognizing what I truly want in this world and what truly fulfills me, what truly opens my heart, and what my real dreams are, not my surface dreams. Okay. Right, we have here fishing pole, self-reliance, extend oneself, autonomy, mentoring others, poetry and emotion. Yeah, so this is about putting your money where your mouth is, kind of thing. You have your reflection, connects with nature, accomplishment, self-improvement, capable. Right, so the fishing pole, this is about acknowledging the work, 9 Virgo, the work that we have to put into ourselves. The work is always with yourself. It's not building a business, a company, or an empire. It's always with yourself. So whatever you've been working on as far as yourself goes and your own personal capabilities goes, this is the month to really acknowledge how being more self-reliant actually helps you. This person is moving forward alone. So codependency keeps us limited. It keeps us from growing and going up the mountain. You can't go up that mountain with everybody else. You got to go up that mountain by yourself. That's the truth. The hero's journey is always a solo journey. You don't go on that with your family or your kids or your partner. You go on that by yourself. Introspection and self-reflection. So you're going to be spending, even with that moon energy, there's going to be some moments of self-reflection this month where you're just going to spend some time thinking for yourself about things that work for you, what does not work, reassessing your life here. And tuning your emotions. Strong sense of maturity here. Tuning your emotions. Okay. All right, we have here the Miriam Sacred Vision. Choose to forgive in order to heal. See the light in all. Remember that love has no boundaries. Yeah, so I imagine that when, actually what was interesting about the characters, the reason why they fake their credentials, a lot of them felt like they were a failure to their parents. So they felt like they had to be amazing at something. And some part of their brain and a lack of accountability, a lack of moral or ethics told them it was okay to lie about it. Something told them, yeah, lie. They didn't feel guilty about lying. Their threshold, the BS threshold for lying, their threshold for lying is actually high. And the thing is, because they lied, they ended up, especially in that Anna Korean version, they ended up attracting people who lied too, who took advantage of them too. But I'm willing to bet you, if they had faced their karma and had been honest, I bet they would have got something even better, more fulfilling. They would have got people who truly cared about them in their lives. Instead, they got people who used them, who wanted to use them. They used that other people, and people used them too. Scammers, right? They're scammers. Yeah, so the Miriam Sacred Vision, choose to forgive in order to heal, see the light in all. Remember that love has no boundaries. Yeah. So there's some accountability, there's some forgiveness here that's coming through in the month of August, that some work you're having to do around that. because that forgiveness is what's helping you to heal. Walk away from what no longer serves you. This is usually starts with an attitude, a concept, a philosophy, a perspective that doesn't serve us anymore. And a lot of this has to do with seeing ourselves as victims. If we see ourselves as victims, then we lean into escapism, we make excuses for doing poor things or hurting other people. And we forget love. They're talking about boundaries. We have here the planet of boundaries, Saturn. This is a really good month for you to understand how do we truly create boundaries or healthy. Well, this one says love has no boundaries. So I guess I've kind of described this before. There really is no boundaries. And the boundaries is more of a human limitation or a need or a protective mechanism that we have. And a lot of people are always, people say, oh, put up your boundaries. You don't have any boundaries. And it's not about not having boundaries or not having boundaries. It's more about rising into higher states of consciousness where it doesn't matter. Because when you see things from a higher perspective, you don't feel sorry for yourself anymore. You're no longer needing to put up fences to keep people out because you already trust yourself. And by the resonance and the energy that you're emanating, you naturally attract people who are in that resonance. So these are people who have a strong sense of self, who want to be helpful and encouraging to you. And whoever is not that, perhaps is just a lesson to learn. That's always the hardest thing, going through an awakening or rebirth, is having to face people that are the opposite of what you're desiring to create in your life, or situations that are the opposite of what you're desiring to create. Yeah, so sense of responsibility is coming through. See the light in all. Yeah, so there's going to be some forgiveness coming through. There might be some conversations, self-reflective, therapeutic conversations that will be happening this month where we're acknowledging what we've learned about ourselves and what we've learned about other people, and acknowledging the beauty that we can see in them and that already exists, even though we've seen the harder, difficult parts of them too. Okay. All right, here we have adaptability. Fine. Nice. You guys got some like stormy gray energies, and then we got green, red. Very interesting. So this feels very deep. This feels like a deep exploration of your deeper emotions that you're going through this month. And you're acknowledging with a strong sense of maturity what you need to do to continuously grow. With number 1 in Ein, the thing that you're acknowledging that you have to do, especially this month, is adapt. You adapt. You be the shapeshifter. Instead of needing people to change to fit what you want them to be so that you can feel comfortable. Carolyn Myss talks about this all the time. You adapt. You adapt to the environment. You adapt to the circumstance or the situation, no matter how difficult. You adapt. So you might be going through some difficult things, but that's because you're being taught the lesson of adapting. Adapt, adapt, adapt. And I always felt like I was a chameleon. I have mutable energies in my chart, but dang, has life called for me to adapt continuously. And it just gets more and more. Especially if you're on that deeper soul journey, like when the energies shift, you shift so fast. Like when I say fast, it's happening on such a subtle level, and things are just shifting in your life, and you're just like, what's going on? Like my conscious state, I'm shifting, I'm interested in different things, I'm losing interest in this, and things just shift so fast for me compared to how they shift for other people. Like other people, they're used to, they were taught and they were programmed to live this certain life where it's all about stability and security, and it's all about having the same thing or the same people in your life all the time. And the truth of the matter is we don't grow from things being stagnant. We need constant challenges. We need real challenges. And the truest challenge is stillness, because when you're still, Your environment is changing. Your circumstance, consciousness, energy is changing all the time, and you feel it, especially in the energy of true stillness. You feel the whole world shifting and changing. You can tune into psychically what's going on in the world energies. My intuitive abilities increased from me being still. I can feel more of what's going on in the world. And I was like, I'm already sensitive. But now it's not about me seeing it just through my own personhood. It's not just about me anymore. Now there's a stronger sense of responsibility for what I do and how I talk to people and what do I say, because I feel the influence, the importance of my words to people and in situations. So I feel the responsibility. If you put me on a stage, boy, does that feel heavy. Like whatever I'm saying, it has to be the truth. In my own personal life, my parents will tell you, I've always been direct and honest. Sometimes too honest. And it's coming with some attitude with that. But it's always been important for me to be very direct and honest. And I'm definitely, it's so crazy how strong the intuition gets. Because you hear, it's not that my intuition, like I suddenly got stronger power. It's like, now I'm not filtered. All the filters are falling away and I can hear more clearly and see more clearly everything that's happening. And you're so sensitive to the energy, but not in the sense that you're moody all the time necessarily. I was actually moody more when I was younger. It's like, no, I feel everything. It's just I flow with it more instead of resisting it. Okay. Thanks for enjoying my spiel. Let's go ahead and close out your reading. So prioritize yourself. So you're the adapter. You're the shapeshifter. We have here Pluto in Aries in the 3rd house. Oh, mindset shift. Okay. Interesting. So the month of August, there's a mind transformation happening around your mindset. Oh, okay. There's personal power coming here with this Aries. Yeah, because I was seeing a Pokemon. Every time I see Pokemon, that means evolution, because Pokemons, they go through an evolution phase, an evolving phase. So, evolving. Okay. So this month is going to mark an evolution of a mindset shift, because we got Aries. So it's like we're shifting into a new gear here. So you're a Pokemon. What was the different? Dang, I don't remember Pokemon like that. They'd come out of the Pokeball and they would shift. They usually had a second gear. I don't know if they had 3 evolutions. I think some of them did. But I'm seeing a shift into a different gear here. You're shifting into a higher gear, a different gear in this month, where it's like, all right, I'm ready to do this. There's leadership here with this Aries energy, a leadership, a strong sense of self. Yeah, but Pluto is internalized. This is like a deeply internal and personal experience. This is not something where, when we're going through these transformations, it's being acknowledged on a world stage. It's always quite personal. You feel it more than you see it. So you're feeling a strong shift in your mindset during this month. You're feeling a strong shift into a different gear where you're feeling more on the offensive, like you're feeling ready to go or to move forward in a different direction, as opposed to staying stuck on something you're holding on to. Okay, let's go ahead and pull an affirmation card to close out your reading. Group number 2. You guys got 2 1s and 2 9s. Yeah, 1 and 8 adds to 9. So that's about completion. Very nice. I'm excited for what tomorrow will bring. Yeah, that's the offensive. So it's like, now that you've let go what doesn't serve you, you realize from a higher perspective, as the shapeshifter, you have the capabilities, you have the tools to adapt to all circumstances. So this makes you actually look forward to life as opposed to wanting to avoid certain situations and change. Instead of avoiding change, that's what I'm hearing. Instead of avoiding change, we're loving it. We're loving it because we're like, but I can adapt to anything. So why would I not love change? It just teaches me more about myself. I just learn more about the world and myself. We have here, my relationship is open, honest, and full of abundance. Yeah, so there's about forgiveness. I think there's definitely some forgiveness happening in relationship dynamics. Could even be happening in friendships or in a community dynamic. You could be also maybe shifting to align with a different community here with that Pluto. Some of you might join some different spaces, groups of people where you share a similar mindset to them. Or maybe this could be more covert in the sense that maybe you're watching people online and you're sharing in the forum, you're sharing on Reddit or something, conversations with people. Yeah, it feels like conversations. My relationship is open and honest and full of abundance. It also feels like vulnerable conversations and therapeutic. I think I said that earlier. Yeah, therapeutic. My relationship is open, honest, full of abundance. So there's also potential here, with the Aries. There's a potential for, I'm seeing as what's not or what hasn't worked out, or how by me acknowledging what has not worked out in my relationships, I'm seeing what can open up for me. I'm seeing more of what divine wants me to create here. And I'm definitely with this twin energy, I'm kind of getting that syncing up where it's like we're aligning with energies and people who we share. We share in that peaceful existence with one another. So abundance, there's an acknowledgement of abundance, especially in relationships. So you might be getting assistance and help through community, people helping you out. There might also be an offer. So, because Pluto is more underground shifts in work and underwiring that's happening. I'm seeing like ideas or inspiration for what can come or what is to come. There could be an opportunity or an open door that's coming here. But I think the real shift or the physical embodiment might come later for this opportunity to manifest later. But right now, the universe will show you the potential. I'm getting a preview. I think there's a preview coming for what's to come down the line for you as you continue to invest in yourself. And the universe is really good at that. They know how to keep us encouraged. They're going to give us little blips of encouragement where they show us what can happen if we keep going up that mountain. Don't give up. And we definitely need that to stay motivated. That's what I'm seeing. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed that group number 2. I really had fun with your reading. Like, subscribe to support. I will see you guys next time. Bye. Okay, group number 3, welcome to your reading. So you guys got sip the tea, and in honor of your reading, I'm going to sip my tea. Yeah, so really funny, the words that wanted to come through, sip the tea, and then we got this cute little girl sitting in a teacup. And the reason why I chose the teacup is I was actually I saw a boat first, or it seemed like I saw a boat, or a canoe of some sort, and then I saw a cup. And the cup kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So I was getting, like from this image, I'm getting a little bit of Alice in Wonderland vibes. Shrinking and getting bigger and smaller and all of those things. Usually when we're talking about sipping the tea or spill the tea, instead of spilling the tea, we're actually sipping the tea. And that makes me think of how when you sip tea, you don't consume it really quickly, right? Traditionally, the beautiful part of like tea ceremonies and in different cultures is to take your time, to be present. So I think you're going to be feeling this month is you're going to be feeling that sacred pause, or feel called to sacredly pause and self-reflect. Take your time enjoying things, enjoying the simplicity of certain things, such as a cup of tea, the simple things in life, I think. And the T also refers to like gossip or information. And I actually created like a project where it was called Toast and Tea for an organization. It was fun. It was a cute little project I did. And instead of the tea being about gossip, spill the tea, it was about offering people stories. And so, yeah, there might be something about re-examining a story or your stories that you tell in your head. We are all storytellers, whether it works in our benefit or not. That's what changes the situation. And I think from a higher divine perspective, the best stories are epics, right? Or mythical, epic, spiritual, magical. Those are the most interesting stories. So I think this is a really good opportunity for you this month, group number 3, for you to learn how to approach your storytelling different so that it is uplifting and it is helpful to you. The universe may be also sending you some signals, synchronicities, and signs, symbols, and messages as well. That's what I'm seeing with the Sip the Tea. In this little image, you get this sense of purity. Kind of feels like fun and playful too, and it makes you think of how little girls, they have their little tea ceremony. And it's very, how would you call it? Classic. It's very classic and cordial. A tea ceremony. There's something fancy and etiquette. Yeah, there's something about etiquette coming through here. And even that girl, she actually looks like her mother is telling her, hey, this is how you she looks like, the way that she's posed, she looks like she's listening to her mother, as if her mom's like, sit still and don't move. And that's you. You're the divine child of the universe. The divine is always talking to you and encouraging you. You are their divine child that they're looking after, and they want to give you the best quality tea possible that you need with the best nutrients. And actually, when I was creating these sort of ad-like designs, I was like, oh, this makes me think of, but I was like, technically kids drink water, tea. You don't want kids drinking caffeine tea, but kids can drink herbal tea, which is packed full of vitamins and nutrients. So this is a really good month for you to sip the tea and to absorb all of those yummy, delicious herbs that help to grow you. Think of yourself as a growing child. You're growing at a rapid pace. You need lots of sleep, lots of nutrients. That's what the universe is giving to you this month. So maybe this is going to be a really good month for downtime and relaxation and taking it easy. So try not to overwork. So the energy I was getting was relaxing, navigating trade winds, and gliding. Maybe even gliding through the water with your canoe in your large, or in the cup, a large cup in the water. The cup is also a representation of a vessel. And I think the relaxation theme that's coming through is because of that Pura Falguni, Ketu and Pura Falguni shift that we have. Pura Falguni is about relaxation. Because Ketu is there, I feel like that doubles down relaxation, even with Saturn and Pisces. So this is an encouragement to be disciplined with our relaxation, to carve out time to relax as much as possible. Either way, you're going to be probably relaxing, whether you want to or not, because that Saturn and Pisces asks for us to slow down in life, no matter what. So just glide through this month, group number 3, and it will be a more peaceful one for you. All right, so you guys have the Sunstone. Let me go ahead and scry with it and see if there's anything I can pick up. I actually have not scryed with this before. I scryed with it for one person I did a reading for, but not, I haven't scryed for this on this channel yet. So this is going to be fun if I can see anything. Yeah, okay, I'm getting a spot. It feels like a blemish though. Like a flaw. Something about not liking your flaws, because it's reminding me of like a birthmark. Yeah, so there's some sort of acknowledgement coming through about your flaws. So sources wanting you to acknowledge your flaws and to acknowledge that your flaws are what make you beautiful. So there's something about, okay, even this little girl, like the tea ceremony just makes me think of proper little girls and etiquette, but the etiquette that they give us is not like behaving and speaking perfectly and like sitting perfectly. That's not the work that they actually give us when we zone in. You know, even if our posture isn't that great, doesn't mean that we don't have access to divinity. That's not true. You know, the fixation on the physical body is a limitation in and of itself, because by the end of the day, we're beings. So if we don't have the best posture, that's fine. It's the sincerity and the intention. That's what I'm hearing. It's sincerity and intention and pure heart behind it that matters the most. And I'm seeing sincerity here, and I feel like that's what divine is acknowledging. They're saying that your sincerity is what's important. Don't be so hard on yourself. You might have moments this month where you just feel like, dang, why can't I just get this right? I don't, like, this is hard. Like, why do I feel like I just can't get this right? And they're actually saying that you can't get it perfectly right because you're human. And you can't, that's a limitation you just can't break free of. That's something you're actually meant to live with, that limitation. Let's say you're in a magical land and you're human amongst all these other creatures, and people are like, oh, humans are considered disabled. Like if you're human, you're disabled, or you have a disability because you're human. And that's what I'm seeing here. Is I'm seeing acknowledging that we're not perfect is important, and it's necessary because it's not possible. So this is the month to acknowledge you can't be perfect. It doesn't matter how many times your parents tell you to sit perfectly and get it perfectly. That was never your job. That was just a projection. They were just projecting that their attitudes onto you. You were never meant to be perfect and sit perfectly and all that stuff. You were actually meant to just be yourself. Yes, you're meant to be your authentic self and be comfortable with yourself. It's what I'm hearing. And so if the world is ever telling you how you should or should not be, that's not what we should be listening to, because that's not how the divine talks to us. They don't talk to us telling us there's something wrong with us because we don't do this right or don't do that right. They tell us that we are loved, period, and point blank. They unconditionally love us no matter what. True unconditional love, I don't think, honestly, it exists in human form. We're literally trying, that's our goal. And it's not really obtainable, but we can learn to let go of the weight and the burden that keeps us from feeling the unconditional love. So I'm hearing it's about receiving the unconditional love, not trying to give it. I don't know. That sounds so crazy, but yeah, I'm hearing don't hold yourself to a ridiculous standard of feeling like you have to be this perfect, unconditionally loving being. That's not what you're here for. You're actually here to receive the unconditional love, and by the nature of receiving the unconditional love of divine, you relax and you chill out. Most of our anxieties are born from our own false perceptions or misleading perceptions we have of ourselves. Because we're looking in the mirror and we just see this imperfect person who needs to keep working on themselves. So this is the month where you kind of work through that. You work through your imperfections and you realize, dang, I cannot iron out this kink or this wrinkle, because the wrinkle cannot be removed. It was put there by the divine on purpose so that you could be human. You were here to be a flawed being. I'm hearing that. I don't know. That's coming through strong. You're here to be a flawed being, have a flawed experience, and have an imperfect life. You're not here to create the perfect life. You're not here to create the perfect life. You're not here to be a perfect person. You're here to experience the messiness, flawedness of life, humans and people. And this is why criticizing people is just not, like, it's okay. I think it's okay to disagree or have a healthy disagreement with people, but, you know, trying to break down other people and their character, you know, that's why I try not to do that. I try, because I'm like, I don't really know that person. We're all just characters in a play anyways. So it's like, what the heck is the point of me you know, we're not here to fix people or correct people. And that's what we're doing in society. And that's why we're fighting. And that's why we're having wars, is because we're constantly telling each other something's wrong with you. And all those people who are going around pointing to other people, telling other people what's wrong with them, are missing the opportunity to work on themselves and to embrace their imperfections. If they embrace their imperfections, they would be so much more at peace in life instead of angry. That's a lot of people are angry because they don't like themselves. Okay. We're just going on and on. Okay, that's what I saw. Crazy. Because the sunstone, I think, is about confidence. And what's hindered your confidence, is what I'm hearing, group number 3, is the gossip you have about yourself. And this is a month for you to transform that. It's like getting past that attitude of like, there's something wrong with me. Nothing was ever... the thing that's wrong with you is the very thing that divine loves about you the most. And your job is to love, appreciate, relax, take it in, observe the part of yourself you don't like, and make peace with it. Okay, let's go ahead and pull cards, see what wants to come through for your August. Hangman, yeah, surrender, relax, let it go. Not yours to change, not yours to fix. You never were here to fix your life situation. You were never here to fix yourself. There's never anything wrong with you. There's never anything wrong with you. If we truly believe that, we would get off of the hamster wheel and we would just go live our own peaceful, happy life, okay? We wouldn't be trying to fix everything. But we also have to acknowledge, like, sometimes we're given curveballs and we're given challenges in life. So now I feel like I have to do a video talking about that Neptune-Saturn, because I'm getting a strong... I mean, maybe the K2 and Leo is doing it too, but I'm getting a stronger releasing of perfectionism. Okay. Let's go ahead and pull cards to see. Yeah, I'm also hearing getting off the hamster wheel of trying to fix yourself. That's a hard one. Fix yourself, fix your life. Because that's pretty much what everyone is trying to do. They're trying to fix their life by trying to make more money, trying to fix their life by trying to find the perfect partner, trying to fix their life by making themselves perfect, trying to fix their life by trying to pursue the perfect spiritual pathway. And like, that's not real. That's a complete illusion. That doesn't exist. Perfect spiritual pathway. What the heck is that? It's not even tangible. There's no ritual, there's nothing, there's no meditative practice, there's nothing, there's no that you can do to obtain it. So what the heck are we on the hamster wheel for? Okay, let's see what else wants to come through. Okay, we got here Moon, Neptune, Pisces strong, and we got Saturn in Pisces. Yeah, there's a reckoning, a clarity that's coming through this month about like, why are we doing this to ourselves? This is what I'm hearing. It's like, why are we doing this to ourselves? You don't need to do this to yourself anymore. It's really time to let this go. And to see past the illusions of certain things that don't... Look at that, Maya illusion. See past the illusions of things we thought existed that don't. Like, you're an illusion in a sense. Your identity is an illusion. And your identity is built around a whole castle of illusions that we've erected and we built. And the thing is, the illusion is that we think we built it. I don't know. This is getting so rabbit hole right now. We are falling so deep into the rabbit hole. I don't know what is up or down anymore. I don't know what's going on anymore. But yeah, that's definitely what I'm seeing is like we are in layers of an illusion. So it's like, just chill, just relax. Because that's why there's... I don't know if you want to say the world is chaotic, but that's why people keep perpetuating chaos, because they keep trying to fix things, and by trying to fix it, they just end up breaking something else, causing another problem. Okay, let's see what else wants to come through here. We have here Mercury, open communication. Yeah, the tea, the gossip in our head. Get the weight off your chest. Speak up with love and be heard. Yeah, so this may be a bit of a therapeutic month. I was kind of getting that for all of the readings here this month. This is going to be a bit of a therapeutic month for us to acknowledge, dang, I'm starting to see why things didn't work out. So this is something that already happened, or things that have happened in your life that have brought you to this space in time where you're acknowledging why you're realizing finally, dang, that's why it didn't work. Why was I putting so much pressure onto myself is what I'm hearing, because that Saturn is with here. Saturn in Pisces, that's the pressure. The Eight of Cups, that's the person who usually walks away from all the success they built because they're like, they don't relate to it, they don't resonate with it anymore. So you might actually see quite a few people walking away from their situations this month. But personally, this is a moment for you to examine maybe something you're already walking away from, for you to feel even more encouraged and confident in yourself about your choices. And the way that choices work is that we don't just make a choice and that's it. Every day you're making a continuous choice to commit to a certain way of being. So take it day by day. Oh, okay. We have here autumn, we have baggage, Black Widow, and the cabin. Yeah, so this is that introspection. Here, you might want to carve out time for yourself here with the Eight of Cups. You're going to need that time of quiet and self-reflection this month for you to tune in and to work on what are your toxic patterns here with the Black Widow. And where did they come from? Let's be honest. If you dig deep enough, you're not going to feel guilty about that's what I'm hearing. The guilt needs to go away. The shame, the guilt needs to go away. And the only way that you heal from guilt and shame is you talk the truth. So if you feel bad about yourself, if something makes you feel bad about yourself, it's not the truth. If something makes you feel like you're the best thing ever and makes you build your ego and creates a superiority complex, that's not the truth either. It should make you feel neutral. That's the truth. The truth keeps you right in the middle. It doesn't bring you higher than anyone. It doesn't bring you lower than anyone. It's just the truth. By the end of the day, we're all beings. And because we're all beings, we got to do no shortcut in life. We all have to do the work. So autumn, rest and release is the energy of autumn. Rest and release. This is a good time for you to rest and release to, we got the moon, we have a full moon here, to lean into your intuition, your inner sense of inner authority within yourself here, so that you can alleviate yourself of whatever 7 Pisces emotional baggage you've been carrying with you. Like, oh, this is my fault, this is my responsibility, whatever weight you're holding onto. If it feels heavy, it shouldn't feel heavy. Let me just say this. Things feel heavy all the time. If it feels heavy, you're carrying too much weight. You should be, but you can be light as feather. I need to work on that for myself. I put that pressure onto myself where I'm like, I should be doing this. I should just know how to do this. And I'm like, why do I feel that pressure? Do you even know where your karma comes from? Because the divine, this is what they tell me. Don't ever feel bad about where your karma comes from. Like, oh, I must have did something in my past life to not work on myself, right? That's judgment. You don't know. Divine says you don't know. You don't know where your karma came from. So why on earth are you speculating so that you, the human, can feel bad about yourself and your existence? That's why people commit crimes, because they usually feel bad or guilty about themselves, about existing, and then that's why people do shady stuff, because there's something about themselves they're trying to run away from. They can't sit with it. And I'm like, if you sit with it long enough, it falls away. If you sit with the illusion, with the Maya illusion, if you sit with the illusion long enough, it falls away. And the illusions live in our head here with the Mercury open communication. So we got air signs here, Aquarius and Libra. And we got 3, which takes us to the 3rd house. about community, communication, and mindset. So if it makes us feel bad about ourselves, it's not helping us, and it's not the truth. Yeah, so this is where we detach. How do you detach from something? You lose interest in it. How do you lose interest in something? When you realize it has nothing to do with you. So this is taking me to maybe even certain relationship dynamics where you're like, well, maybe this person's treating me this way because I deserved it. Maybe this person's treating me this way because I did something wrong. Maybe this person's treating me this way because I created karma. And those are all mind traps. That's what the mind is really good at doing. The human mind, ego mind, is really good at doing. It just creates more and more ego traps. You know, there are people out there who say, oh, I know everything. I know the truth. And I'm better than these people. And I'm like, the heck? How on earth did you learn all of that just to get back into your ego? Because that's what the mind is good at doing. It's very good at weaving those webs, getting you stuck back in the trap of superiority complex or inferiority complex and putting you back into the victim seat. If you truly didn't feel like a victim, you could just be at peace, right? There's no need to rise up against someone and do all of this stuff. You actually want to support and encourage people to build themselves, to be powerful, to be their true, powerful, strong self. That is not claiming power through status, recognition, or money. The only way to claim your power is to be at peace with yourself. There's no other way. So, yeah, I mean, for a long time, it looked really appealing to see people building their resume and their net worth through their network and money. But it turns out your net worth has nothing to do with money. It has everything to do with your nets. The nets work in here. That creates the net worth. The network is the divine network. That's the network we're supposed to link into, not the network of the psychic pain of the world where people are stuck in their false identities of I'm a good or I'm a bad person. You're neither. You're not even a person. So live out in this human vessel, live it out. You are in a human vessel, live out this experience and understand what you really are. Keep investigating. That's what I'm also going to say. Okay. I'm going to pull out some affirmation cards and roll out the astro dice for you guys to close out your reading. So you got 3 and 4 add up to 7, 3, 1, 9, 3, 3, 7, and 3. Okay, so 3 is definitely your number. This is a time to change how you communicate to yourself. Your perception is creating the false illusion of this reality. Your mind is creating the reality. Link into the truth. The only way you link into the truth is when you're in a relaxed state or you just relax. When you're in that neutral space, that's the truth. Any words that are being spoken in your mind are not. They're just interpretations of the truth. The true truth is silent. Has no words. Okay. I don't know if I want to go that deep yet. I don't even know what I'm saying. I'm like, I gotta investigate what I just said right there. Okay, so we have here Jupiter in Leo. Look at that confidence in the second house. Self-worth. Your self-worth. Expansion. Okay, so this is a month where you're really expanding into your healthy expression of your self-worth. Even in that image of the sip of tea, that girl looks quite shy and introverted. And there's nothing wrong with introverted, but she looks like, even with that etiquette energy, it feels like she just didn't get more of that carefree expression of herself. You know, like the group number 1 who had that dancing woman. But this is the energy of group number 1 showing up here. So if you want to check that out, go ahead and feel free to. But this is the energy of reclaiming this. But we have your Jupiter, which is about law, order, law, order, truth, knowledge, the guru, the teacher. So this is a really good month for you to learn where your confidence comes from and how to build it with that second house. How do I build my confidence? Everything is a paradox. You don't build your confidence from building your status. You build your confidence by shedding the illusion. I'm not this and I'm not that and I'm not any of this. So whatever someone has to say about me is irrelevant, because anything anyone says about you is just a projection of their mind on you. So because someone compliments us or they say something about us doesn't mean we need to take it as truth or fact. It's just a projection of their own mind that they get to explore. Also creative as well. Energy. We have here, I embrace happiness as my set point state of being. I embrace happiness as my set point state of being. So they're telling you that your happiness is your set point. You know, this isn't happiness. Even let go of the word happiness. And listen to the intention and the idea behind this statement, which is that they're calling you to embrace your most authentic, natural, that's what Leo's about, authenticity, your most authentic self-expression. What feels natural to you. That is your set point of being. Your set point of being is not a version of you that is criticizing or judging yourself about how you should or should not do things. We have here, everywhere I look, I see prosperity. Everywhere I look, I see prosperity. So, with that Jupiter in the second house, how do you build your net worth? Is you build your self-worth. So your self-worth is what builds your net worth in a sense. And this is not about having a lot of money in your bank account. No. Prosperity and abundance are more advanced concepts than money. Money is very dense. I think I drew a picture of it somewhere, but money is very dense. Let me see. Here we go. Just a little bit of it in my notes here. So we got money, and then I wrote generosity and abundance. We have the sun here at the top. So I said trauma, healing. The more you heal, let go of all of that emotional baggage. Here, money is like root, earth, right? Abundance is ether. Okay, I'm going to even say this. Abundance is not just ether. It's all of the elements combined. Money is a physical thing. Not ether. Abundance is all of them. It's water, fire, ether, air, earth. It's all of it. That's what real abundance is. So that Jupiter in Leo is telling me is your abundance is coming from your sense of confidence in yourself. And I'm also hearing that not just because you feel confident in yourself doesn't mean all of a sudden you're going to get more followers and more money. They're not saying anything about that. They're saying everywhere I look. So this is about the perception, the lens through which you see life. Everywhere I look, I see prosperity. They're telling you to feel abundant, to feel prosperous, because you see it. You see the truth, and your lens has been cleared of the fogginess. The only reason people feel bad about not having money is because they attach that to their self-worth. They attach their net worth to their self-worth. They think that, well, if I had more money, my self-worth is great. And that's why all those billionaires keep making, they got their self-worth, their true sense of self-worth is undeveloped. It's like a baby. It's undeveloped. A true sense of self-worth comes from a true sense of net worth. Your true net worth should be your self-worth. It should be the relationship you have to yourself. Understanding you have all the tools to adapt because you're a being, you're not a human. You're having a human experience, but you are a being, and your being is infinite. Your being set point is contentment. It's peace. Your being sees, feels, experience, and only can experience abundance. Unlimited experiences. I'm going to even say, even in the shadow, even in the difficulty, challenging circumstances, it sees abundance. Because it sees an abundance of opportunities. Because your being, or your higher self, is always seeing the potential for what is to come. Because the being understands how the story unfolds. It always knows that when a person is restricted in their circumstance, something abundant is being birthed inside. So if you don't have that much or whatever, something seems limited, that's because that restriction that you're experiencing, circumstantial on the outside, is birthing something huge inside. That contrast is just creating more synergy, more energy, and more activation in you to get your true sustenance from inside. Get your true resources from inside of yourself. And for you to become the resource as opposed to you looking and lurking. For some reason I'm hearing lurking for resources. No need to lurk for resources. You are the resource. So this is about redirecting and deciding, oh, I'm here to be alive. I wonder how can I be alive or express or experience this energy today? And embrace all of it. Embrace, you're having a human experience. Embrace, you get tired, you get sad, you get depressed, you experience all these emotions. It's very interesting. You're learning through everything. You're learning through depression. You're learning through a low money balance. You're learning through harsh words being said at you. You're learning through difficult living situations, perhaps. Whatever restriction the universe has created in your life is a blessing. Recognize the true blessing. It's the learning you get to experience that builds your true sense of self-worth that cannot be taken. No one can take it away from you. That's what true confidence is. No one can take it away from you. So this is a beautiful month for you to see and learn and recognize and acknowledge what true confidence is. I hope you enjoy that group number 3. Thanks for being with me here today for your August reading. I will see you next time. Like to support or subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye.